अब मैं एक कीनोट एड्रेस के लिए गुजारिश करूँगा एक ऐसी शख्सियत से जिसने स्कॉलरली अपनी ज़बान, अपने कलम, अपनी दरसगाह के ज़रिए अपना ऐसा एक मुनफरिद किरदार बनाया है कि चाहे मुल्क में तारीख़ और फ़ारसी के हवाले से, हम आहंगी के हवाले से, कंटेम्प्रेरी लिटरेचर के हवाले से गुफ्तगू हो या हिंदुस्तान के बाहर गुफ्तगू हो, बेशतर कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में और बेशतर अदबी और तहक़ीक़ी जराइद में उनके मज़ामीन या उनकी शिरकत लाजिम व मलज़ूम समझी जाती है। मैं बड़े अदब और एहतराम के साथ कीनोट एड्रेस के लिए मोहतरम प्रोफेसर अखलाक अहमद आहन साहब, जो ख़ुद बहुत अच्छे पोइट भी हैं, उर्दू और फ़ारसी दोनों ज़बानों में न सिर्फ शेर लिखते हैं बल्कि दर्जनों किताबों के मुसन्निफ़ हैं और उन्होंने बड़ी ज़ख़ीम किताबें लिखी हैं। दारुश्शुको पर भी, अमीर खुसरो पर भी, उमर ख़य्याम पर भी, अल्लामा इक़बाल पर भी और मुख्तलिफ़ मौज़ूआत पर और कंटेम्प्रेरी लिटरेचर पर बहुत गहरी नज़र रखते हैं। अपनी बात गुफ्तगू से ज़्यादा अपने कलम के ज़रिए कहने के आदी हैं। गोया कि उनकी शख्सियत वसीम बरेलवी के इन दो मिसरों पे पूरी उतरती हुई नज़र आती है कि कौन सी बात कहाँ कैसे कही जाती है, ये सलीक़ा हो तो हर बात सुनी जाती है। ज़ोरदार तालियों से इस्तक़बाल करें प्रोफेसर अखलाक अहमद आहन साहब।
Thanks, Dr. Hafiz. Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor Mazhar Asif, Excellencies, Dr. Iraj Elahi, Safir Muhtaram Jamhuriya Islamiyya Iran, Excellency Sardar Mirzayev Rustam Bayov, the Ambassador of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Professor Mehtab Alam Rizvi, Registrar Jamia Millia Islamia, Dr. Shams Iqbal Sahab, Director NCPL, ladies and gentlemen, Ustad Girami Agai Dr. Mahdi. The topic today is in fact about Darushshukoo and his legacy and how he is one of the persons who symbolizes the Indian syncretic tradition, the Indian civilization, what we understand today. And I'm reminded of a couplet by the famous Urdu poet Firaq Gorakhpuri. He says, Sarzameen Hind par aqwam alam ke firaq, qafle baste gaye, Hindustan banta gaya. In fact, Dara is not the first person engaging with the interfaith debate. And what we know about Dara, it is basically the Indian civilization for many, many centuries or many thousands of the years. In fact, his personality symbolizes the civilizational engagements of India with its neighboring civilizations, whether it is Central Asia, Iran, or even Mesopotamia, or West Asia, and even the Roman and Greek empires. So this is, we know the historical part of it. But, there is a lot written about it. This engagement did not started with the Turkish rule in the 12th century onwards, but we see the imprints of this engagement since the time immemorial. In the treatises written by the scholars like Al-Masudi and Al-Biruni and others, much before the Turkish rule, they divided, for example, the medieval geographers the world they divided into Hafs Aqlim, or the 7 regions of the world, characterizing the civilizational characters, and they called India as the Iqlim Hikmat, means the region of wisdom. And why it was called so? We, for example, know one of our ancient centers of civilization is Banaras or Varanasi or Kashi. And Dara, we know that Dara, while translating Sirr Akbar or Sirr al-Asrar, he invited many Pandits from Banaras. But this engagement was not what Dara was doing in 17th century, but in 8th and 7th century, the Abbasid Caliph Harun Rashid, he sent 150 scholars to Banaras to learn Sanskrit, to learn the Indian tradition of knowledge, or the philosophy and many things. And we know that there was one scholar who studied in Banaras, his name is Al-Mashar. And those who work in the history of West Asia, they know that there was one center established by Abbasid in Baghdad. It was known as Baitul Hikmah. And Baitul Hikmah he was associated with. And today, and after him, Al-Mashar is basically the reference person for all those working on the astronomy. And he is the person who translated the Indian text on astronomy. And then, after they returned, Abbasid Caliph invited hundreds of the Pandits from Banaras, and they joined Baitul Hikmah and translated hundreds of the books from Sanskrit and Pali into Arabic. We know that Baitul Hikmah became the center where they translated all the existing and prevalent knowledge either in the West or in the East or in Indian traditions. And we know that they were great service they did in research, in translation. The book Al-Fihris also has included all those works done by the scholars in Baitul Hikmah. Even there are opinion that in 1250, when Halaku attacked and devastated Baghdad, the number of Pandits who were living in Baghdad, they migrated to contemporary Lebanon, and their descendants are today known as Nabatis. You might have heard those areas named after them. So this engagement has always been there. We, being the student of Persian, we know that the translation of Panchtantra in 6th century by Buzurgmehr or Burzue in Pahlavi and named as Kartak wa Damnak, and then it was translated into Arabic by Ibn Muqaffa as Khalila wa Dimna, and then in the West, in France, and it was known as Roman de la Rose. So these engagements were always there, and Dara Shikoh, what he did and what is his contribution to this whole tradition from the ancient period and until the Mughal period. Secondly, I would also like to underline, for example, our guests, a large number of guests are from Uzbekistan, and one of the centers of great civilizational activities is Bukhara. Bukhara, we know it is named after Vihara, the Buddhist monasteries. And that shows how Indians went there, they stationed there, and it became the center of Buddhism, and then it was propagated in the Eastern Asia and in the whole region. Then later it became the center of Islamic tradition, Sufism, and then it returns back with the tradition of Naqshbandiya Silsila coming into 15th, 16th century. So this whole engagement was there. We know about Al-Biruni, we know about Chishtiya Sufis. So this intellectual and the philosophical and cultural engagements were always there. Then we come to Dara Shikoh. Dara Shikoh is the person with the inquisitive mind, and he started doing research on the philosophy of Wahdat or Tawheed or monoism. And we know that the tafsirs written in West Asia or other places, they utilize all other texts, for example, Torah, Zabur, Injil, while doing commentary or writing tafsir on Quranic tradition and trying to understand the philosophy of Tawheed. Dara Shikoh was curious that is there any such philosophical thing existing in Indian texts, because no civilization existed without the messengers of the God. So he, while engaging with the Pandits and discussing with them, they suggested that there is one book particularly, that is Upanishad. And Upanishad till that time was not even compiled. So the credit of compiling 50 or 51 Upanishad goes to Dara Shikoh and the Pandits associated with him. And it was Delhi, they came and they took around 8 to 9 months, they translated this whole text, and the translation is also very interesting. And that translation, the way it is translated, it invited the curious attention of the Western people, particularly those following the Semitic religions. And that was the reason why when Dupro translated in Latin and French in 1700, the philosophers of West, particularly Schopenhauer, who happens to be the founder of modern Western philosophy, as well as the Indology, he took interest into that translation. So, for example, this translation also needs to be researched. I have quotations of that translation. For example, in Mandukya Upanishad, he says, or it is mentioned, that the Almighty God is neither having any parent, nor having any descendant, not any face or anything. So this is equally what we call in Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So this is the curious. This was the search. This was the longing of Dara Shikoh, which he was looking for, and he found it. The problem with us is that, and we must discuss this today, particularly when we are discussing Dara Shikoh, that knowledge, languages, philosophical tradition, intellectual tradition, in the Oriental tradition particularly, and especially in Indian tradition, has never been attached with the identities. It is basically the post-colonial heritage that is denting our understanding of our own civilization, our own intellectual tradition, our own interfaith engagements. And today, in the universities we are sitting, we do a study, but somehow we have the conception and misconception that particular language is attached with certain identity. For example, Persian, Arabic, Urdu, you may say that this is the Muslim language. This is not. Similarly, Sanskrit, we know that Al-Biruni and Khaja Gharib Nawaz, before entering into the Indian territory, they learned Sanskrit in Ghazni. Okay? So knowledge and languages has never been attached with the this. Otherwise, you could not study different traditions, philosophical tradition. So that is very important. When we are discussing Dara Shikoh, we must underline it. Similarly, there are scholars, for example, when Akbar established Darut Tarjama, the center of the translation, there were scholars, for example, Mullah Badayuni or Faizi and others translating Sanskrit texts, Rigved and Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian and introducing to the whole world, because before the British civilization it was Persian which was the lingua franca for the international interactions from China to Eastern Europe. So that is very important, and that tradition somehow even continued during the British period. Like a place like Shah Jahan, a very small place, they used to have Jalsa Khuda Shanasi till 1924, in which the scholars of different religions used to gather and engage with each other. So that is the tradition which we have to look into. We do study many books, novels and books of different languages and things. We also should look into the religious texts, because these are not only the religious texts, these are also somehow the texts of the knowledge and philosophical traditions. So in the West Asia, even Christians and Jews, they study Quran not for following it or not considering it as a book of religion. They study it as a language of literature, for language of linguistic studies. So that is the tradition which the whole Asians had, we Indian particularly had, and today when we are talking about our past, our intellectual traditions, we try to come out of this attachment of knowledge, languages with the identities. With that, I would conclude my words. Thank you. Thanks a lot.